Hi, my name is Elaine Jagielski, and I'm going to talk a little bit about change. So, how do you know when it's actually occurred, and what tends to happen when you do make a change? Often, individuals may experience the situation where they've had an epiphany. They've done whatever steps, process, whatever it might be to actually make the change. And then they find themselves in what seems like the exact same situation. And so the tendency then is to go, what's the point? Like nothing's changed. I thought I got to the bottom of this. I thought I was over this. So why am I experiencing the same thing? Like, why is that person irritating me? Or why do I find myself with a speeding ticket? Or whatever it is, whatever area you thought you had created the change in. What tends to happen is that when you do make a change, we get to have a little bit of you might call it a test. Our higher self may afford the opportunity to see if change has actually occurred. And so it's as if there's a bit of a reverberation, right? The change has happened, but then we get to experience a little bit of that fallback or a reverb or whatever you might want to call it. And so you may find yourself in the exact same situation. However, to know that change has actually occurred is if you respond differently. The response matters. That is one of the most important things. And so even if you do end up in what seems like the same situation or very, very similar, whether that's with the same person or a different person or similar circumstances or what seems like the exact same circumstances, try to remember, do your best to do it differently. Can you respond differently? And rather than becoming discouraged or disappointed and feeling as if somehow you failed because you're finding yourself in a same or similar situation, to remember that this is just a little, like I said, for lack of a better word, maybe call it a test from your higher self to go, have you really changed? Is this something that you're really willing to allow to be different, to move into a different state of being when faced with the same frequency? And so if you remember that and do your best to respond differently, then highly likely you are not going to experience that again, or less and less, to the point where it just isn't a thing anymore. And so you know that real change has occurred when you respond differently. And to remember that if you find yourself in a similar or same situation, it's never really the same, but a similar type situation, that this is just an opportunity to really move through whatever it was, whatever that old stuff was, into a new space and a different place.